Hey, my name's Anthony,
My name's Alex.
and we are
The Pta Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Pta Podcast.
Yes, we're back.
Alex and I are with you guys today for another cool episode based around nutrition. As all of you know, Alex and I are very, passionate about nutrition because we've seen how it can transform our health and our body, but also we've seen what it can do for all of our clients as well.
Definitely.
Now, the topic of today is a very simple one, and it's you do not need to overcomplicate your nutritional plan. You don't need to complicate your daily eating. You just need to keep it nice and simple, and the key is being consistent with it. So I'll let Alex start about what he thinks needs to happen in somebody's lifestyle for things like fat loss and building muscle and improving health. And then I'll talk a little bit about my take on it as well.
Going back to what you just said, I've said that for so many years. We human beings overcomplicate everything. And I think just before I go on to my take on it, a lot of people are getting caught up in the fact that there are so many different opinions out there that they just, sometimes I feel sorry for the person that isn't in the industry or hasn't studied this stuff, or because I get it, you know. It's like, all right, well, I've just, jumped onto Google and typed in, best ways to eat, and there's like 1,000 different ways, and you're like, oh, which one's the right one to do?
Yeah.
But this is where, when we have those conversations with clients, whether they're new or old, or not so much the old, because the old understand how we work and what we do, but more so the new. I just said to them, like, just keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid, as they say. And that's because simplicity is bliss, right? The basics always win, and I harp on that with every single new client I work with. The basics will always win. When you're talking about nutrition, and they say to me, okay, so what's the basis of nutrition? Aim for anywhere between 4 to 5 meals in a day. Oh, but I'm only eating 2 and I have no time. No. Aim for 4 to 5 meals in a day. You got time. We just got to figure out what your day's like, and then we just got to start prioritizing a few things, because you're scrolling on your phone for 3 hours, right? Or you're watching Netflix for an hour, or...
What's wrong with that?
That's fine. You can be in the kitchen and cook while you're watching Netflix. Mum does it. She watches her Lebo shows while she's cooking. But when you break down someone's day, there are so many gaps in their day that they're like, you know what? Yeah, okay, fair enough. I could do it then, or I could do it then, and you're like, yeah, sweet. So you can. But for me, to simplify nutrition, I would say, look, aim for 4 to 5 meals in a day, and base everything that you eat around protein being the first food option that you have on your plate, right? Whether it's chicken, red meat, or some type of fish, base your meals around that. And people will say, okay, well, how much protein should I have? I always say the simple. Just start with a palm size. If we're gonna bring it down to that much of a basic thing, start with a palm size, right? Because I guarantee you that's more protein that's more protein that you're having in general anyway, right? So you're gonna increase that.
I said half a plate protein, the other half veggies.
It's funny. I said that to one lady once, and she was like, half a plate. I was like, yeah. It's like, how big are your plates? They're not that. Plate is a plate. But yeah, so start with everything based around your protein source, and then from there, I always say green veggies first, because a lot of people just don't have veggies in general. They say green veggies, and then your starchy carbs. And more than happy for you to have potato, sweet potato, pumpkin, carrots, mix it up. Oh, I can have potato. Yeah, you can have potato. Potato's fine. It ain't gonna kill you. And then from there, I just say, and then from there, eat every 2 to 3 hours. Now, when someone's first starting out, a meal like that, it might keep them fuller for longer than 3 hours because they're not used to eating that amount. I've seen some people with like one meal, which is like this big, fills them up. And I'm like, you need to really reprogram your body on how to eat. Because they've been doing that for so long.
Yeah.
So I say, okay, look, if it's 4 hours, no worries, all good. Just make sure that you get at least 4 to 5 meals in. If it's 4, great. It's better than what you were doing before, because your body hates you for doing 1 to 2. Right? So that's a good start. We'll build on it. It's fine. Even if it's 3. If it's 3 consistent meals, awesome. Great. We'll build on it. All good. The fact is that we're building a routine. But yeah, base it around protein. Add then your starch, your carbs, your green veggies. With terms of seasoning, like season as you like. People always ask that question. Oh, can I put sauce? Bro, add sauce. It's fine. It's not gonna kill you.
Yeah, with herbs and spices,
Yeah, it's not gonna kill you.
seasonings and sauces. You want
It means you're gonna have your chicken and broccoli, bro. Like by all means, cause just eat it.
and the relief in their fat.
Yeah.
I want you to the reliever in their face. So,
Don't go into your other character.
I know badly. They're like, oh, can I? I'm like, yeah, man, I want you to enjoy eating.
100%. Like I've said to people, I said, what's the difference between you cooking chicken and broccoli and sweet potato, for example, but then putting it in like a wok pan and then making it like a stir fry? Still the same ingredients, just tastes better.
Well, the thing is, there's this stigma with, losing body fat and you having to eat bland and boring.
Yeah.
This is why people can't stick to nutritional plans. And this is why I love the fact that when you look at calories and macronutrients and help that be a driver of your decision making, you can actually figure out a way to be able to have food that tastes nice,
100%.
that is enjoyable to eat while you're able to achieve the goals that you want. Now, I love all the points that you just said. My favorite thing that I always talk about is the right plan for the right person at the right time. If I have somebody that comes in and spent years tracking their calories and macros, I want to see what their level of knowledge is at first before I give them my approach.
Yeah, 100%.
And then on top of that, when you got somebody that's been doing it a while for themselves and have got semi-decent results, could have your knowledge in order so you can be able to explain things to them and put yourself in an authoritative position so they respect you and they listen to you. If your client feels that like they know more than you about nutrition, you got Buckley's if you think they're going to listen to you.
I'd be like, listen, brother.
And
I'll show them a photo.
Yeah, but I've had this in the past. Where clients thought they were smarter than me. And I was like, what do you mean? And if somebody's got knowledge,
Look at that now.
if somebody's got knowledge, great. Show me your knowledge. Right? And I listen, but at the same time, I need to make sure that they understand they've employed me for a job. And that job's to get them a result. If you don't listen, I can go help somebody else. You don't have to help me. I don't have to help you. Right? But if you're going to be here around me and you're going to want to get results to my gym, right? I don't like my gym being associated with bad results. It's a thing that we just don't like to have, right?
Definitely.
So if you're going to work with me, fucking work with me or get lost.
They're hard.
Right? And I say this to some people and they go, hey, whoa. I'm like, sorry to be so blunt to you, but you're making it very difficult for me to actually be able to help you. So what do you want to do? Are we going to work on this together? Or are you going to be stubborn to the fact that I know more than you and you need to just take my advice?
Yep.
And the ones that get the best results are the ones that just comply, and that's just, for lack of a better term, the easiest. Right? They just follow the result, they follow the method, they trust the method, and they get great results. We always talk about Spiros.
Yeah,
He is the easiest client we've ever trained. And the reason for that is because he just sticks to it. And if it's not working, he goes, okay, what can we do differently to help me move forward? He doesn't spit the dummy. He doesn't actually go, oh, no, it's not working. I'm done. I'm just going to go back to doing what I was doing before. He just follows.
Yeah.
Right? And when things plateau, which, like I said in the last episode, is very normal, he understands that his body's doing a normal thing as a response to dieting. We go to the next plan. Okay? But then I also spend a bit of time with our clients, especially the new ones, explaining to them that the old mentality of needing to be in a diet needs to leave their brain. And
Yeah, 100%.
they need to walk away from that and leave it behind them, because that's the biggest reason why they're undernourished, why they have low energy, why they carry too much body fat, why they have no muscle, why some of them have bone density issues, right? Brain fog, hair loss, skin issues, all these things that can come from constantly putting your body in a state of stress, from purposely under eating and essentially starving yourself, right? So getting them to understand that there's a lot of magic that happens at maintenance calories. In other words, eating more food. There's a lot of good that happens for your body, especially in the realm of fat loss and building muscle. When you get them to understand that, everything else that comes from that is a lot more positive.
Yeah, definitely.
And the long-term approach is a better one.
Yeah, man.
There's that many clients or people that I know, and I wouldn't call them clients because I never get our clients to do this, but there's a lot of people that I know that would compete on stage, and they'd look better in training leading up to the show than they would on stage.
Yep.
And it's because of the constant stress they put their body under, because they're walking under 1,000 calories, thinking that that's a normal approach to have going on stage. It's not. Especially if you're natural, it's not. Because you look more watery and more bloated and softer, so to speak, compared to when your body was in a much healthier state with you eating more food and you actually don't carry muscle, your physique look better.
I was going to say, you actually were leaner as well.
Exactly. Your first show was the only show where I didn't like how you looked on stage compared to how you were in training.
Yeah.
The first show. We learned a lot
But we
from
learned
that.
a lot after that.
And we understood the mistakes that we made. And then from your second show to
I
your
get it.
to
My last one.
however many you've done since then, different physiques.
Forget it.
Right? People thought you were on gear and you were on stages in a natural competition. Which was I took that as a huge
Massive
compliment.
compliment.
Right? Because we retained so much muscle, we got you lean and you looked hard. And that was a great achievement for yourself, but also as your coach, it really got me to understand the way the body responds to things like water retention, to things like water levels that you consume, so your hydration levels, your macronutrients, nutrient timing, so how often you eat your food, and then overall calories as well. And what somebody who's not on steroids, how their body responds to these constant dieting phases. So 98% of our clients are natural clients, not on steroids. Why would I let them just sit in a calorie deficit knowing that their body's not going to respond the way they think it's going to respond?
Yep. I literally said it to a client this morning. How can I put you in a calorie deficit if you've already been in a calorie deficit before you even walked into our doors? And they're like, what do you mean? I said, well, you came in and you were only eating 2 meals a day. You literally were only eating 2 meals a day.
Yeah.
You're looking at definitely like nothing more than 800 calories in a day right there, right? You're already in a severe calorie deficit. So how can I then put you in a calorie deficit?
Exactly right.
So your body, like that's why you're not seeing any physiological response within your body because you've starved your body. Your body literally has no other choice but to want to hold on to everything because it's got no energy, external energy coming in the first place.
Yeah, well, the body, the part of the adaptation process with that is the body holds on to what's the most important thing, muscle and energy. So it's not going to get rid of these things. And when food comes in, because it understands that it's got so little, it's going to hold on to more.
100%.
Right? Leptin and gliadin levels aren't working for you. Your cortisol's through the roof. And then everything else becomes a negative cascade from there.
And then some people experience them becoming catabolic. Their body ends up eating away at its own muscle for energy because you've got nothing coming in.
That's just in general. If you're in a deficit, you are catabolic, right? And again, I don't like, and you can agree with this as well, I don't like anybody losing muscle.
No, well,
Like, if I can avoid that, I will.
preserve as much muscle mass as possible.
Exactly. If I can avoid that, I will. So I guess the easiest way for people to understand about what to do with their nutrition if they're not very sure, number one, talk to Alex or I. But number two, really make sure that you prioritize protein in every meal.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is literally have the majority of what you're eating as protein. So for example, when it comes to your breakfast, instead of having porridge or oats or rolled oats or overnight oats, whatever the fuck people do now with the oats, just have some eggs. Eggs and avocado. Like, that's my
Things to
favorite.
do with oats.
It's like some of the stories I hear, I'm like, why would you even do that?
Have an egg, it's easier.
I legit, like, and it's so much, it's the nutrients are so much better.
Yeah.
So, something simple: 4 eggs, half an avocado, Bob's your uncle.
Good to go.
Great. Sets neurotransmitters really well. You've given yourself good protein, good fats in the
Priorities
morning.
high.
Exactly right. Next meal, something that's got some protein in it. We always like to recommend a protein shake. You get these nutritionists that say protein shakes aren't good for your kidneys. If you have a kidney problem, they're not good for your kidneys. Right? Low protein powders, unfortunately, I've filled with a lot of preservatives and additives. If you need a good protein powder, let me know. I've built my own. It's very clean. That's an option that we use for snacks. Other than that, it's things like yogurt are really easy to jump onto. They have a good amount of protein and some good fats. Throw some fruit in there and you're happy. Lunchtime, simple rules that we follow. Half the plate protein, a quarter of the plate veggies, the other quarter can be whatever carb base that you want.
Yeah.
You tick all the boxes there between protein, fats, fiber, and vegetables, and carbs, sorry. Meal number 4, as an afternoon
Another snack if some people want.
can be that. It can be literally a protein shake, protein bar, it can be yogurt again, whatever it might be. Something small that just keeps your blood sugar level stable, but also gives you consistent energy flow, helps with recovery. Main macronutrient always needs to be protein in that. And number 5 is something very simple, dinner. Right, we all sit down and eat dinner.
Everyone always has a great dinner. So many conversations I've had with people, like the consult I had this morning. Dinner was on point every single time, but from the moment she woke up to the moment she got home for dinner, fucking terrible. But dinner was great.
Well, dinner's people always like to have dinner because they like to sit down with their family and eat dinner, right? Or they have something like an event on, or they have something that makes them stop and have dinner. I just say to people, why can't you just do that for breakfast and for lunch as well?
I just say to people, why don't you make extra dinner and a pack for lunch tomorrow?
But why don't people don't even sit and have their lunch break? I look at people and go, did you take a lunch break? No, I'm too busy. I say, you can get fired tomorrow and they won't give a fuck about you.
So true.
Why don't you just take your lunch break? Because you wear it as a badge of honor because you're overworked? I don't like that. To me is the biggest reason why people fail when it comes to their nutrition plan. Not because it's too hard to implement or they don't understand it. It's because they haven't looked after their ability to stay consistent with it.
Yeah.
That to me is step number 1.
100%.
You need to make sure you have a plan that you can stay consistent with. So if you're not taking your lunch break, then don't expect to stay consistent with your nutrition plan. If you're not making sure you can have those, you can wake up early enough to have breakfast or allocate time for breakfast, whether it be a shake, whether it be yogurt, whether it be something small, whether it be a sit down with eggs or whatever. If you're not allocating time for that, figure that shit out first before you worry about your calories and macros and what's good and bad, right? And on the topic of good and bad, the amount of times that people say to me, is that good to eat? Is that bad to eat?
I always say that.
And I say, you can have either one. I said, but you got to understand what happens when you have bacon and egg roll, for example, versus what happens to the body when you just have eggs and avo.
Yeah.
You got to understand what happens if you have a zinger combo for lunch, or if you have, or if you have, or if you have, a platinum meal for lunch. You got to understand what happens to your body.
100%.
You got to understand what happens if you have a large supreme pizza from Domino's for dinner.
Stop, can't stop.
Or if you have,
Let's order a bit.
or if you have some kind of oven baked veggies with some protein. You need to understand what happens to your body when you have those kinds of things, and then understand the consequences. And I'm not going to teach you how to live your life, but I'm going to direct you in the way that you should be doing things like your nutrition. Because for us and the type of person that we train, this is so much more than just a bit of fat loss or weight loss. This is helping people become better, stronger, healthier, happier versions of themselves for their job, for their kids, for their spouse, for their parents that they look after, for themselves.
Right.
It's so much deeper than just, hey, you're getting a little bit fat now. It's so much deeper than that.
Did you ever think, just a bit of a side note, did you ever think that when we first started in this industry that training someone would go so far beyond just getting them a physical change?
Yeah, because I experienced that first.
So I
That's what made me fall in love with exercise. It wasn't because, yes, I went to the gym to put on muscle. But one of the things that I absolutely fell in love with was the confidence that I built on myself.
When it become like when you look at the job of a coach or the job of a personal trainer.
Oh,
right?
yeah, okay.
Did you think that it would end up being pretty much?
Are you a counselor?
Yeah.
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 I didn't think at 18 when I was doing the course.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I didn't think
compared to what we deal with now. Like, bro,
well, I dealt with it. I learned on the.
I had a woman say, like, man, training with you guys saved my marriage. I was like,
what? Yeah.
cracker.
I know, great feeling, but I was like, how?
You know what I mean? But it's so, what we do is so deep. It goes so far big. And that's why I say to, if there's any people who are new coaches or studying right now, listening to this, like, you need to understand that getting into this industry, it's not spoken about enough, I believe, and it's not spoken about at all. And you won't learn this shit at TAFE or at college or wherever you're doing your course at. But in this industry is so far beyond the physical because of the fact that because the mental, the emotional, and the physical are so intertwined and connected, right? You start out with, and every client will start out wanting a physical change, and then as you train them and as they get healthier, they end up like, there's just so much that goes into it from the emotional and mental point of view that they end up fixing so many other things as well.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with that too.
Yeah, 100%. But
there's a reason why they teach our courses about professionalism.
Yeah, no, definitely. But what I'm trying to say is like I said,
we definitely help. Yeah, we definitely help because I see us more than I see any of the other.
Yeah, so we train them.
The doctor, the psychiatrist, whatever. So for us, understanding that we have this huge impact on them far beyond their fat loss goals. To me, because we know this, we need to be very. We need to take our jobs a lot more serious than most PTs do.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. So
I mean, it goes so far beyond the physical that starting in the industry, yes, 100%, our job is to get them a physical change nonetheless, but you're gonna also help them change for the better when it comes to their emotional and their mental as well. They walk in with feeling sad or upset or depressed, and they walk out with a smile on their face.
Well, how does somebody put on body fat in the first place? Don't tell me that they're the happiest, lucky go person in the world. There's a significant mental, I wouldn't say they're depressed, but there's a significant lack of care for themselves to let themselves get to that point. And do not tell me it doesn't affect them with their confidence. Do not tell me it doesn't affect them with their body image. Do not tell me it doesn't affect them with how they look themselves in the mirror. Because it does.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. If I don't train for a week, my confidence is so low in myself. If I train for a couple of days, I'm back to how I like to feel.
100%.
Right. So our job is to just really identify with this individual about how important exercising is. But in the realm of nutrition, the main thing that you and I like to focus on is how simple it needs to be to get the person starting to see results. Drop the high carb foods, prioritize protein. Naturally, you're going to feel better, right? Because those individuals that don't have a lot of protein, they're having processed foods and high carb foods in replacement.
Yeah.
As soon as you prioritize protein, you naturally eat less carbs, right? And the thing is, carbs aren't the enemy. But there are mechanisms in the body for carbs and fats to be stored as fat.
Yes.
To be stored and eventually become fat, right? There's no mechanism in the body to store as protein. To store protein, sorry.
Just get rid of it.
So whatever excess protein you've consumed, you burn as energy. So this is why we always recommend prioritizing protein, because there is so much good that comes from the body to the body from that macronutrient protein. So we're going to leave it there because we can go into a rabbit hole that you opened up.
Right. No,
But thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate your time.
That's right.
This episode helped you.